Hi friends, hello and welcome to the 90 Days to Cat series, and this is Sudhanshu wishing you all a very amazing festive season and a great year ahead. In the last few parts, we have done really important aspects of DI. For example, we have done key hygiene aspects. I hope you've seen that video, right? Apart from that, we have also done key tools for DI. For example, we have done conventional tools like bar graph, word problem, line graph, pie charts, etc. We've also done some unconventional DI tools. What are unconventional tools? Tools that are, not so traditional tools of representation. For example, candlestick chart, like bubble chart, radar chart, which has become active in CAT and XAT in the last 3-4 years. Another such graph, which may become a part of CAT, or even if it doesn't, helps us prepare better for CAT, is a triangular graph. Let's have a look at triangular graph today and understand how to interpret it. It's important that we understand it before the exam rather than seeing it for the first time in the CAT exam. Let's see a triangular graph. For example, in this case, let us try and interpret it and use it to solve a question. For example, a survey was conducted in 5 cities and the percentage of people using trains, buses and cars has been plotted here. Let's see how do you interpret. For example, you can see there are lines T, 100, 75, 50, 25. See, these lines are representative of trains. For example, trains 75% on this line. So for example, Pune, if you see, 75% of the people use trains, right? If you see this line, Kanpur and Raisin, 50% of the people use trains. Surat, if you see, 25% of the people use trains. And Trivandrum, again, if you see, you have to draw a parallel line here. That will be 12.5%. So 12.5% people use trains in Trivandrum, right? So that's how you interpret a triangular graph. Similarly, let's see buses. These lines are representative of buses. So for example, if you see this line, so it has Surat here. So Surat, 25% of the people use buses. In Trivandrum, 50% of the people use buses, right? And finally, if you see these lines are representative of cars. For example, if you see Surat, 50% of the people use cars. If you draw a parallel line here, so this is between 25 and 50. So 37.5% people will in Trivandrum use cars, right? So I hope the interpretation is clear. Now let's use this interpretation to solve a few questions. The number of people using trains for transportation in Pune, Kanpur, Raisin and Trivandrum. Not asking about Surat here. So Pune, 2000. And number of people using trains, so 75% of them, so 1.5k. For Kanpur, if you see, 4,000 people and 50% of them using trains, so 2k here. Again, we have Raisin, that also is 50% lying on the same this straight line, so 3k here. We don't have to count Surat, so we're not counting Surat here. And finally Trivandrum, if you see, we have drawn a parallel line here, so this is 12.5%, so 1k here. So what's the total? 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 1 is 6, 7.5 divided by 4. So this will be 1875. The answer is answer option A, approximately. So we have approximated it. If you want exact, you could have marked none of the above, but it entirely depends on the question and the level of error that is allowed in the question, right? But the answer is 1875, which is closer to answer option A. Hence, we are marking answer option A here. Let's move forward and see the next question in line. The mode of transport used by the least number of people. If you've seen in the last one, trains we had already calculated. So let's include Surat and calculate it completely. So if you see, we have calculated here for 4, it is 7.5. Surat is remaining. And if you see Surat, that is here at 25%. So this becomes 25% is 0.75. So if you will add 0.75 here, this will exceed 8, becomes 8.25, right? So trains is done. Let's calculate for the others also. Let's calculate cars. Cars may be the answer because most of it in cars is less than 50 only. Because this line represents 50% in cars. So all the places are less than 50%, barring Surat. Surat is at 50%. So let's calculate. Surat is at 50%. So this becomes 1.5k. Trivandrum is 37.5%. So this line represents 37.5. So this becomes 37.5 is 3 by 8. You already know the fraction table. we have done in the key hygiene aspect, right? So this becomes 3K. Kanpur also is 37.5. Kanpur here is 4,000. Is 1.5 again here also. Pune and Raisin, these are at 12.5%. So 1 by 8 of the number, right? So 1 by 8, if you will see here, it will become 0.25. And 1 by 8 here, if you will see, that becomes 0.75, right? Combining all of it, this number will become 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So cars, let's see buses also. Buses looks like it's going to be more than cars because we have some higher numbers here. So in buses, this line represents 50, and Trivandrum, which is the highest population here, right? So 8,000 here already is in here. So if you see, this line represents 50%. So Trivandrum 4,000 in one shot. Then you have 37.5% here, and there you have Raisin, which is the second most populated. So you have to take a 3 by 8 here, right? So this again becomes 2.25K, right? You have Surat at 25%. Surat at 25%, which is again 0.75. Here if you see, it's 3 and 4 already. So it's all obviously going to exceed cars. Hence the answer is cars. I hope this is also clear to you. You can calculate it quickly if you are really good with the hygiene aspects. So do revise that. Now, among the given cities, the cities where less than 30% of people use cars as transport. Less than 30% people using cars, what you have to do? Just draw a line slightly above 25% parallel to the line. Now you can see Pune and Raisin are below 30%. So that's done. Very, very simple. As soon as you know how to interpret it, the question becomes easier, right? If you have to interpret for the first time, then it takes a little time. Now, which of the following statement is not true? Let's see. 50% of people use trains for transport in Kanpur and Raisin. That's correct. So not the answer. In Trivandrum, more than 50% of people use cars for transport. So now for cars, what you have to do? I have to, just draw these lines. If you see, this is between 50 and 25. So 37.5% use cars. So this is certainly not true. Hence the answer. Can I have multiple answer correct? You can check for it. But obviously if one answer is correct, I don't need to check any further. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for joining in today. God bless you all. Keep studying hard and keep sharing with other aspirants. God bless you. Bye-bye.